Are there any petitions? Is Honorable Jimo Aremu here? Can we do this tomorrow? Is that okay? Or you want us to do it today? Okay, we'll do it tomorrow. I have my reasons which I'll explain to you later. Honorable Osai, you have a matter of urgent public importance? What? Oh, I was asking if there was any. You have a petition? Go ahead, what's your petition?
Mike. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Aniekan Umana, member representing the unique people of Abak, Itimegwika Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition from the Outdoor Advertising Association of Nigeria addressed to Mr. Speaker, crying for intervention and help on the insensitivity and strangulating grief and problems with the outdoor advertisement and signage department of the FCT. Mr. Speaker, I seek your leave to tender this petition.
You may lay your petition.
Thank you, sir.
Any other petition? No more petitions? Okay. Honorable Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Osai Nicholas Osai. I represent local Kwani Federal Constituency of Delta State, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I come under 8, the rules of this House, to bring in a matter that is urgent, that involves the CBN, the telecom industry, and the banks over a dispute relating to 42 billion debt between telecom operators, banks, and other financial institutions, so as not to suspend the issues that is boiling and bringing this matter, denying Nigerians of the access of mobile banking. It is on this result that I bring this matter because it's urgent, and I urge this honorable House to suspend all relevant rules as documented in our rules to enable me to be able to move this motion now and today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleague. I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Ari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, I'm my name, Honorable Ari Mohamed Abdul Mumi, member representing Nasarawa and Toto Federal Constituency. The Speaker, sir, I rise to second the motion ably moved by a colleague, Honorable Sai Osai, I so second, sir.
Honorable Sai.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Osai Nicholas Osai. I represent Dr. Okwani Federal Constituency of Delta State. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, a matter of urgent public importance. Urgent need to intervene in the impasse of 42 billion debt between telecom operators and banks and other financial institutions. The House notes that in a bid for the Central Bank of Nigeria to realize one of its statutory mandates of promoting monetary stability and sound financial system in Nigeria, design a cashless policy that will provide innovations, easy mobile payments, cost reduction, and convenient financial services to millions of Nigerians living in urban and rural areas. Also note, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that one of the innovations introduced is the unstructured supplementary services data USSD services, which is used by global system for mobile communication technology to communicate with their service providers, computer via text messages to check account balance or mobile airtime, generate bank statement, or does fund transfer and data balance inquiry, or to receive one-time password or PIN code. Further note, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that the USSD service, which is controlled by mobile network operators, is a critical price of infrastructure used to provide mobile financial services to banks and other financial institutions in cell phones at very low cost, without requiring access to the user's SIM card. Aware, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that the said infrastructure service houses all the Nigerian telecommunications, TOS, MTN, Glo, Airtel, and Night Mobile, and internet service providers. Observe, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that the USSD made it possible for millions of Nigerians who do not have smartphones or data/internet connection to access banking and other financial services on a daily basis, especially during COVID-19 movement restrictions. Inform, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that between January to June 2020, the value of USSD transfer payment in Nigeria amounted to over 390 billion naira, about $1 billion US. Disturb, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that since October 2019 till date, there has been a dispute between Nigerian telecommunication operators and the Nigerian banks over who should pay for USSD service sessions. And the banks have always wanted the telecommunication operators to charge customers directly, but the telecommunication operator insisted that the services were being offered to the banks, and as such, the banks should be the one to pay telecommunication operators. Aware, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that between the month of July and August 2020, the operators had an agreement with the Federal Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy and the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC. Now, the Nigerian bank should pay the telecommunication operators for the use of the services at an agreed individual price mechanism. Also disturb, distinguished honorable Speaker and honorable members, that the dispute has lingered over a long time to the extent that the prices has been finger-pointing each other. All efforts at resolving the dispute prove abortive, and the debt kept increasing until it is presently 42 billion naira. And further disturb that the telecommunication operators have issued a notice threatening to withdraw and suspend the USSD services from the Nigerian bank starting from Monday yesterday of March 2021. Worried, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that if the USSD service is withdrawn, Nigerian telecommunication users will fall back and continue with their old traditional models and channels, which is analog, such as mobile banks, apps, internet banking, ATM, POS, that makes banking services uninteresting and inconveniencing, with high costs of financial transactions, which will further put our health in danger as a result of crowding together. in line with COVID-19. Concerned, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, our USSD service made it an easiest route for non-telecommunication providers to deploy services to the poor people in Nigeria. Acknowledge, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that the convenience the USSD brought into Nigeria financial business transaction made its adoptions and acceptability to grow at a very tremendous rate. Resolve, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, urge the telecommunication operators to halt the planned withdrawal and suspension of USSD services to the Nigerians and other financial institutions. 2, mandate the Committee on Telecommunication to liaise with the telecommunication operators, Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC), Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), and Nigerian banks and other financial institutions with a view, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, to resolving the impasse and report back to the House within 6 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues.
Second, Honorable Jugbele.
Honorable colleague, my name is Honorable Jimo Olusola, member representing Ado Dr. Federal Conference. I have my second motion as moved by Mr. Osai.
I think, do you want to just add 1 minute? And then we'll hear from the chairman, telecommunications, for another minute, so we can move on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Just as I convey in the body of my motion, that the services rendered by these telecommunication operators are so enormous, and the tremendous rate at which Nigeria accepted it is so enormous that to the extent that it's a popular policy. Because it makes banking easy. It makes every activities of Nigeria made easy. It is in this line, which is, why do we represent the people? We represent the people for their popular needs. And it is that need that this motion tends to cure. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleague, I think it's a popular motion that can raise the image of this great assembly. It is on this note, Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues and everybody here to support this motion with the speed of light it requires. I so move.
Chairman, what about the MEC here? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Akim Adini Yadeyemi. I represent the good people of Afidjo, Atiba, Oyo East and Oyo West. I'm from Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, I have to commend Honorable Nicholas Osai for bringing this motion on the floor today. Distinguished honorable members, Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a very straightforward motion. The telecommunication providers provide for the banks in Nigeria to transact business. The banks are now refusing to pay for the platform at which they transact business. We need to come in to save Nigerians, particularly this COVID-19 period of social distances. Mr. Speaker, you can imagine if this service is suspended in Nigeria. Today, millions of Nigeria will have to troop to the bank before they can do of 100 naira or 500 naira. Mr. Speaker, even if the banks have an application, they have their own fresh application, Mr. Speaker, they still need the data. It is that I will still even give them, they can even use mobile application to do banking transaction. Mr. Speaker, without wasting the precious time of this noble house, since the motion has mandated the telecommunication committee of this house to do justice to it, we will ensure that Nigerians are protected, and federal government through the NCC, a situation whereby would decide without paying the revenue to Nigeria would not be condoned, not only by the NCC, but also by the people representative, this noble house. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, straight for those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Benny Bakwa, are you here? Move your motion. Honorable Benny Bakwa. All right, so I think we're just going to move on. Honorable Ben is not here. Honorable Duku, since we're only able to take one, your matter is not of urgent public importance, but we'll just take it very briefly and move on. Yeah.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Respected colleagues, I would like to come under Order 8, Rule 4, to allow me to take this motion, a motion under urgent matters of national importance, on the urgent need to tackle recurring blockade of highways by articulated trucks in Nigeria. I feel it's important and we need to take it. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Yeah, any seconder? Seconder.
Mr. Speaker, my respected honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Ahmad Bargaja, member representing East Establishment Federal Constituency. I stand to second motion moved by Honorable Duku. Thank you.
Honorable Duku, please move your motion.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My highly respected colleagues, I'm Honorable Aisha Jibril Duku, member representing Dukuna for the Federal Constituency. I'm from Gombe State. My motion, Mr. Speaker, is on the urgent need to tackle recurring blockade of highways by articulated trucks in Nigeria. The House notes that articulated trucks block the ever-busy Abuja-Kaduna highway at Jere Town on Monday, 15th March 2021, thereby preventing passage to travelers. Further notes that the blockade happened as a result of misunderstanding between a truck driver and some military men on patrol around the area at about 11 p.m. the previous day, which led to the shooting of the truck's tires by the military men. Aware that blocking major highways by articulated trucks at the slightest provocation or disagreement have become recurring incidents over the years, despite its devastating consequences on the travelers flying those roads. Concerned that despite adequate road traffic laws in this country, travelers were left static for hours under harsh weather to suffer for a crime they know nothing about. Further concerned that the challenges of road traffic law enforcement in Nigeria is not lack of effective laws or deficient legislative framework, but inadequate compliance and weak enforcement. Disturbed that the malaise of road traffic blockade in this country has become a major threat to road transportation sector, since it is still the most patronized mode of transportation in Nigeria. Further disturbed that such blockade may cause accidents, health concerns, or even loss of lives or properties. The House resolves to urge the House to set up a committee to investigate all cases of road blockade by articulated trucks in Nigeria, make appropriate recommendations, and report back to the House within 4 weeks. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder. Honorable Gagdi, you want a second? Okay, Honorable Onanuga, please second Honorable Duku.
Mr. Speaker, highly respected colleagues, my name is Otumba Adewumi Oriyomi Ononuga. I represent the fabulously united people of Ikene, Shagamu, Remo North. Mr. Speaker, colleagues, I'm from Ogun State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by Rep. Aisha Duku. I so second.
Those in support of Honorable Duku's motion on tankers, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honourable members, the first business of the day is presentation of 9 bills, and I invite the clerk to read the short title.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Nigerian Maritime Security Trust Fund Establishment Bill 2021, first reading. Public-Private Partnership Bill 2021, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2021, first reading. Federal Medical Center, Kwoi, Kaduna State Establishment Bill 2021, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2021, first reading. Federal University of Agriculture, Samaru Kataf, Kaduna State Establishment Bill 2021, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2021, first reading. Bitumen Development Commission of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2021, first reading.
All right, second business of the day is presentation of report of the committees on basic education and services and healthcare services on the need to introduce cardiac pulmonary resuscitation as a subject in primary and secondary schools curriculum and provide them with basic first aid and skills, standing in the name of Honorable Julius Nyobere. Honorable members will recall that the matter was referred to the committee on Thursday, 27th February 2020. The report is ready for presentation, and I now call on Honorable Nyobere to present the report.
Mr. Speaker, I'm Professor Julius Nyobere, member representing Owan Federal Constituency, Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to seek a leave of the House do receive the report of the Committee on Basic Education and Services and Healthcare Services on the need to introduce cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, as a subject in primary and secondary schools curriculum and provide them with basic first aid and skills. I so request, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, sir.
Any seconder?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Distinguished colleagues, I'm Honorable Comrade Chinedu Oga OON. I represent Ezza South Igbo Federal Constituency. I'm from Ebonyi State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion able moved by my honorable colleagues. I hereby second.
Yeah, those in support that this report be presented, please say aye. This against me say nay. Ayes have it. Please lay your report, Honorable Nyobere. Third business of the day is presentation of report of the Committee on Public Procurement on investigation into procurement, deception, staff victimization, and ongoing management problem in the Project Development Institute, PRODA, Enugu, under the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, standing in the name of Honorable Nasiru Ali Ahmed. Honorable members will recall that the matter was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 10th February 2021. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Ahmed is invited to present the report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Nasser Ali Ahmed. I represent Nasara Federal Constituency and I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the motion that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Public Procurement on need to investigate the procurement deception, staff victimization, and the ongoing management problem in the Project Development Institute, PRODA, Enugu, under the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, HR 010-2021. I so move.
Honorable Mwauba, please second.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Henry Mwauba, I speak for the enterprising people of Mbitoli Keduru Federal Constituency. I'm from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as ably moved by Chairman Public Procurement, Right Honorable Nasiru Ali Ahmed. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Ahmed, please lay the report. The fourth business of the day is presentation of report on the Committee of House Services on the need to investigate the irregularities in the payment of salaries and allowances of legislative aides in the 9th Assembly, standing in the name of Honorable Tasir Olawale Raji. Honorable members will recall that the matter was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 18th March 2020. The report is now ready for presentation. Honorable Raji is invited to relay the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Wale Raji. I represent a peripheral constituency of Lagos State. I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Health Services on the need to investigate the irregularities in the payment of salaries and allowances of legislative aides in the 9th Assembly. Mr. Speaker, I so move. Thank you.
Honorable Noli Naji, can you please second?
Mr. Speaker, colleagues, my name is Noli Naji. I represent the Kano East and West Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, colleagues, I rise to second the motion as moved by the Chairman House Services. I so second.
Yes, those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Raji, please lay the report. First order of the day is consolidation of 5 bills. Honorable members will wish to know that the bills are on the same subject matter. And I hereby now invite the Chairman, Committee on Rules and Business, to move that the bills be consolidated. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I'm Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Briniwa, Grika Sama, Unified Constituency, Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, I move for the consolidation of the following 5 bills as follows. A bill for an act to amend the Fiscal Responsibility Act, Chapter F14, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make it mandatory for states to democratically...
Honorable colleagues, the House is a bit rowdy. Can we please take our seats? Honorable colleagues, please take your seats. The House is a bit rowdy. Thank you.
Please take your seats.
A bill for an act...
Honorable Abuna Dikwa, take your seat.
Chapter F40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make it mandatory for states to democratically elect local government councils before such states can access funds from the capital market and make provisions for punishment of offenses in the bill and for related matters, HB 63.
B, a bill for an act to amend the Fiscal Responsibility Act, Chapter F40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to ensure transparency, due process, and accountability in the administration of public funds and for related matters, HB 331. C, a bill for an act to amend the Fiscal Responsibility Act, Chapter F40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and for related matters, HB 442. D, a bill for an act to amend the Fiscal Responsibility Act, Chapter F40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to empower the Commission to stem the huge cost associated with budget delay in Nigeria through efficient budget cycle management and automation of budget formulation process at the federal level and for related matters, HB 506. E, a bill for an act to amend the Fiscal Responsibility Act, Chapter F40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make mandatory public consultations during preparations of the medium-term expenditure framework, conduct of annual budget defense and hearings to ensure participatory and inclusive budget process in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 773. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Jimo.
My name is Jima Abdurrahim Olajide. I represent Lagos Mainland, Federal Constituency, Lagos State. I stand to second the motion as moved by Chairman Business and Rules. Thank you.
Okay, so those in favor of the consolidation of the bills, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, please let's maintain some quiet in the house, please.
Honorable Osai, take your seat.
Osai.
Chairman House Services, take your seat. Chairman Power, take your seat.
Wow, but take your seat.
Chairman Power, take your seat.
So, Committee on Rules and Business, please schedule the date for commencement of the debate on the general principles of the bill.
Chairman IDFIS.
Honorable colleagues, can you leave the aisle and get your
Honorable
seats?
Jega.
Honorable colleagues, please leave the aisles and get to your seats so that we can continue with proceedings. Thank you. Second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to establish the Nigeria Police Academy as a degree awarded institution to provide academic and professional training, and for related matters, sign the name of the House Leader, Honorable Mohammed Tahir Mongunu, Honorable Osai, Honorable Gagdi Adamu Yusuf. Honorable members will recall that the bills were consolidated on Wednesday, 10th March 2021, and I invite the Leader of the House to move that the bill be now read a second time. Leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Ado Dogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, I represent the good people of Tudunwada, Dogwa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish the Nigeria Police Academy as a degree awarding institution to provide academic and professional training, and for related matters, HP 90, 195, 684, and 1209 be read the second time. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the three other members, I so move.
Honorable Sarki Adar, your time is off. Honorable Sarki Adar, your time is off.
Please, Honorable Musa, please, the House is at standstill, please.
Yes, Honorable Chairman Upstream.
All right, sorry about that. Leader, you've moved your motion, right? Any seconder? Honorable Osai, please second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Osai Nicholas Osai. I represent local Kwani Federal Constituency of Delta State, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, I rise to second the motion, heavily moved by the great leader of this honorable house. I say second.
Leader, please can you lead the debate, or you want to allow Honorable Osai? Either one of you can lead the debate.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, given the opportunity to lead the debate, Mr. Speaker, I would like to say that this is almost like a straightforward bill. A bill for an act to establish the Nigeria Police Academy as a degree awarding institution. And in the same institutions, Mr. Speaker, provisions are made for that institution to undertake academic and professional training in the school. And for that, I believe, Your Excellency, Mr.
Silence,
Speaker,
please.
this bill requires this House to do justice to it. And I also want to add that it's an institution that has already been in existence. But this law is now brought before us for our passionate consideration so that the institution will now line up.
Silence, please. Honorable members, silence, please. Silence,
Given
please.
this legislation, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it will provide the necessary and the required impetus for the institution to now continue to operate like a university and still producing our desired police officers under the same institutions. There are also other professional courses that will be undertaken under these institutions. I believe it is a bill that is timely. It's a bill that, of course, requires our attention and consideration. I therefore plead with members of the House and the Honorable Speaker to please allow this bill to be passed by this Honorable House. I so contribute, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Halims. Honorable Halims.
Thank you.
That's your contribution. Thanks. Honorable Dozier. Who's that? Is that Honorable Dozier in one call? Yes, can you contribute to the debate? Please, contribute to the debate. Go ahead.
People of Ayers vicinity. Mr. Speaker, I want to apologize. I wasn't paying attention to the debate, so I should apologize.
Okay, I hope your constituents heard that. You were not paying attention. What were you doing? Honorable Makama, I saw him talking to you. Can you contribute to the debate?
The mic is off.
It's on now.
Mr. Speaker, I also want to join him and apologize. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so you were not listening to the debate. Honorable Uju, please contribute to the debate. Honorable Uju.
Honorable Speaker, my name is Honorable Uju Kinsley, member representing Ohajima Oguta, Oru West Federal Constituency. My speaker, the debate you mentioned is not a debate yet.
Huh?
The debate you mentioned is not a debate yet. So
It's not a debate yet.
Yeah, I don't know what to contribute on.
Well, when will it be a debate? Huh? Oh, you want to second it?
Huh?
You want to second it?
No, I'm trying to get the debate you are talking, Mr. Speaker.
You are trying to get it?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, you were not listening.
No, I was listening, but I was actually handling some of the narratives you gave to us.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I hope all constituents are watching. You are not listening. Let me look for somebody else who was not listening. Honorable Toby, we all know you are listening now. You can see how quiet the house is now. Okay, Honorable Toby, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, my name is Toby Okechukwu. I represent an area of Oji River Federal Constituency. I'm from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, I come under Order 9, rules. I need to see you. Rule 4, 11, Order 9, rules 4, 9, and 10. And also, conscious of Mr. Speaker's effort and labor to control the House. Mr. Speaker, Order 9, 410 states, 49 states, during a sitting, all members shall be silent or shall confer only in undertones. Then 12 is that no member may interrupt another member while speaking. It further also states that interruptions are not allowed. Mr. Speaker, your serial efforts to call members' attention regarding issues on the floor speaks essentially to Order 9. And it shows that we are, or several members are essentially in breach of it. For us to be constructively engaged and discuss and speak to issues pertaining to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, members have to simply observe the rules of debate. And that presupposes that we ought to be silent. We don't have to crisscross the floor indiscriminately. And unless the chair calls your attention, you are not to be moving. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, you can see the man hours and man minutes that we have invested in calling this House to order. I believe strongly that I think we should take caution so that we can, as we have established, stay and do the business of Nigeria, and considering the health situation, dispense with the business of the Parliament. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Toby. Let me just develop that a little bit. I think it's very important, honorable colleagues, we're a parliament. It's called a hallowed chamber for a reason. That's why the word hallowed has a meaning. It's not a marketplace. And when members are loitering, talking, you have a tendency of psychologically diminishing the stature of this house and the hallowed nature of the chambers. Apart from the fact that it distracts other members, whoever is debating cannot even be heard from the chair. So I cannot even follow the debate members cannot follow the debate. But it makes it even more so when you're debating an issue as important as this one. We're talking about police reform, which we've been talking about since last year. And a police academy that is being, the bill is about a police academy to be set up for training and all of that. So it's an important matter that needs to, and we have to respect whoever the sponsor of that bill is, or any bill for that matter. Order 9 is very clear on and there's a reason for that provision that everybody should be silent. And this is what we see is international best practice. We see it in all parliaments all over the world. Many of us have been to even the most remotest part of the country where parliaments sit in quiet. It's like being in a courtroom. Maybe even more important, it's like being in a courtroom. There's no way you'll be in a courtroom and the case is being heard and people are loitering and talking. So please let us take note. I mean, when it got to the point where normally it's the chief whip that calls the house to order, and he tried, and I even got involved as well. So please, for future, as Honorable Toby has said, let us heed to both international best practice and Order 9 of our rules. Thank you, Honorable Toby. Sustained. I'm just going to put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk, please read the long title.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish the Nigeria Police Academy as a degree-awarding institution to provide academic and professional training and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee of the Whole. Third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to repeal the Lunacy Act, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and establish a mental health department to promote and protect the rights of persons with intellectual, psychosocial, or cognitive disabilities, and to provide for enhancement and regulation of mental health services in Nigeria. And for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader, honorable members will recall that the bill was transferred from the Senate, seeking concurrence of the House, and read the first time on Tuesday, 23rd February 2021. I now invite the Leader to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my respected colleagues, honorable members. Ado Dogwa is my name once again. I represent the good people of Tudunwada, Dogwa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that a bill for an act to repeal the Lunacy Act, Cap L 524, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, and establish a mental health department to promote and protect the rights of persons with intellectual, psychosocial, or cognitive disabilities, and to provide for enhancement and regulation of mental health services in Nigeria, and for related matters, HB 1208. It is a Senate bill, Mr. Speaker. I therefore move that this bill be read the second time.
Thank you, Honorable Room. 20 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Kabir Alaso Room. I represent Honorable Kurajibe Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Kano. I rise to suspend the motion heavily moved by the Leader of the House. I so second.
Leader, please lead the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In leading the debate, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I would like to once again say that this is a bill that has a straightforward nature. And I still would like to re-emphasize the fact that this House has always taken very seriously bills for concurrence from the Senate. And we have always put it out there that we will expect the Senate to always play ball to bills that are sent to them for concurrence. Mr. Speaker, we have no objection whatsoever. What our sister chamber does in their businesses, whatever they bring here for concurrence, we are mindful of the fact that it is a bicameral institution. No one bill or initiative or any legislative business could be effective without the other chamber concurring to it. Mr. Speaker, I want to put it straight that we will always concur to the bills coming from the Senate, and we will expect the same from the Senate to concur for our bills that goes to the floor of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. For me, this bill is a good one. It is timely, apt, and in the spirit of that bicameral coexistence of the institution of the National Assembly. Honorable members, Mr. Speaker, I think we should concur and pass this bill for a second reading. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Leader. Most unfortunately, very rarely do I do that, but take a different opinion that yes, most times we should rather concur with the Senate, assuming that they've done their work, so we should concur with them. But there may be some bills that are passed around that certain members may have fundamental issues with, in which case we can allow the members, and we'll have to debate the bill. But I want to agree with you to the extent that almost 90%, either way, they will rely that we've done our work, we will rely that they've done their work. But there may be some certain issues that one or two members may want to contribute on such bills. So whilst I agree with you, let me just say, is there anybody that wants to speak against the bill? So we'll just put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk, long title.
You have to put it with you have to speak with the cannot emphasize over the committee. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to repeal the Lunacy Act, Cap L 524, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and establish a mental health department to promote and protect the rights of persons with intellectual, psychosocial, or cognitive disabilities, and to provide for establishment and regulation of mental health services in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Special Ad hoc Committee on review of the 19... Oh, hold on a second. Sorry, Bill referred to the Committee on the whole. Point of order.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Benjamin Bemzondo. I speak for the people of Makudi Guma. I also speak for the team in unemployed youth. Arise, Order 8 Rule 5, personal explanation. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, in the light of the bills coming from Senate, I will humbly request, Right Honorable Speaker, that we be made available the details of those bills. Most times we see just the long title written and on our other papers, we don't have the details, and as such, our debates can be limited. I will humbly request this House, through the Committee on Rules, that most of the details of these bills be furnished to us so that we can have our input, whether we speak for or against those rules. I so humbly submit. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Ben. Chairman of Business and Rules, just like every other bill, a bill that comes from the Senate should follow the normal procedure, even whether we're going to concur or not, so that members will have ample opportunity to know the contents of the bill and the details of the bill. That's the whole idea of second reading. So noted, Chairman of Business and Rules, all concurrence bills should be, like all other bills, members should be notified of the contents. The fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to grant the two chambers of the National Assembly and states houses of assembly powers to summon the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and governors of states to answer questions on issues of national security or any matter whatsoever, over which the National Assembly and State Houses of Assembly have powers to make laws, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Sejus Ogun. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 24th February 2021, and I invite Honorable Ogun to move that the bill will now read the second time.
Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, I'm Sejus Ogun. I represent Esan Northeast, Esan Southeast, and I'm from Edo State. I rise to move that a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to grant the two chambers of the National Assembly and State Houses of Assembly powers to summon the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and governors of states to answer questions on issues on national security or any matter whatsoever, over which the National Assembly and the State Houses of Assembly have powers to make laws and for related matters. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Makama.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Ibrahim Makama Misau, representing Misau Damba Federal Constituency. I'm from Bauchi State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion. I rise to second the motion that the bill should be read for the second time. I so second. Thank you.
All right, this is a constitutional amendment which we'll refer to but just to give it a little voice, can you just take a minute to flesh out the bill and then we'll put the question. Honorable Sejus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our colleagues here have the briefs, so let me just go straight to the principal acts that we are seeking for amendment today. Section 67 of the principal act is amended by inserting a new subsection, that's section 3, as follows. Nothing in this section shall preclude any chamber of the National Assembly from summoning the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to attend a joint session of the National Assembly to answer questions on national security or on any issue whatsoever over which the National Assembly has powers to make laws. And then for the states is section 107 of the Principal Act. And well, basically, Mr. Speaker, what the bill tends to amend is that if we have powers to make laws for the Federation and for which we even appropriate monies for, we also think we should have powers to invite or to summon the President, as in the case of the state assemblies, to invite or summon the governor to the House. So that's basically it, Mr. Speaker. Like, we remember what happened was in January, in December 2020, when the Attorney General said that it was not expressly stated in our laws for us to summon the President. So basically what we are trying to do is to give teeth to the Constitution, to give authority to the National Assembly or the State Assembly to be able to summon the governor or the President to the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to grant the two chambers of the National Assembly and States Houses of Assembly powers to summon the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and governors of states to answer questions on issues of national security or any matter whatsoever over which the National Assembly and States Houses of Assembly have powers to make laws and for related matters. Second reading.
The bill referred to the Special Ad hoc Committee on Review of the 1999 Constitution. Fifth order of the day is a motion on need for the Independent National Electoral Commission to restore the suppressed Ndokwa Ukwani Federal Constituency of Delta State, standing in the name of Honorable Osai Osai. Honorable Osai is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Osai N. Osai. I represent local Kwani Federal Constituency of Delta State. Mr. Speaker, need for the Independent National Electoral Commission to restore the suppressed local Kwani Federal Constituency of Delta State. The House notes that the Nigerian had its last delineation exercise into senatorial district and federal constituency in 1996. Also note that Section 73, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, provide that Independent National Electoral Commission shall review the division of states and the federal into senatorial district and federal constituency at interval of not less than 10 years and may alter the district or constituency under the provision of this section to such extent as it may consider desirable in the light of the review. Further note, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that the main purpose of periodic review of the states and federal constituency is to alter, restore, and make restitution of suppressed constituencies to bring the government closer to the people through fair and equitable legislative representation. Inform, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that on the promulgation of 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, rather than maintain the existing federal constituency in Ndokwa Ukwani nationality, the then military government by fiat reverted the two federal constituencies into Ndokwa ethnic nationality and foisted on the Ndokwa people one federal constituencies and reduced the House of Assembly constituency from 4 to 3 without adequate consultation. Observe, Mr. Speaker, that the delineation carried out
Silence, please.
by the military.
Honorable Stanley, take your seat.
By the military government before the Fourth Republic was good in some cases. There were distortions that resulted in having some of the misappropriated senatorial district and federal constituency in present-day Nigeria. Worried, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleague, that the continued suppression and unjust marginalization of Ndokwa ethnic nationality has brought political and economic retardations on the people. Recall, Mr. Speaker, that Ndokwa ethnic nationality has the largest gas deposit in West Africa and play host to about 15 oil exploration companies in Nigeria, including the first indigenous independent power plant, IPP, that transmit over 485 megawatts of electricity into the national grid that power Aso Rock and Yet. Consigned, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that the people of Ndokwa ethnic nationality, being the second largest ethnic groups in Delta State, are poised into ensuring the existing anomaly of gross marginalization, injustice, and continued suppressions of the federal constituency is readdressed and corrected by Independent National Electoral Commission. Urge the Independent National Electoral Commission to restore and make restitutions on the suppressed Ndokwa East State constituency and Ndokwa Ukwani Federal Constituency of Delta State, and also direct the Committee on Constitutional Review to further deal on issues and report back to the House. Thirdly, mandate the Committee on Electoral Matter to ensure compliance.
Whip. Is he properly dressed? Are you properly dressed? With
a cuff.
mandate the Committee on Electoral Matters to ensure compliance and report back to the House within 4 weeks. I so move. This prayer that was skipped.
The seconder, please. Honorable Koko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Shehu Koko from Kebbi State. I represent the good people of Koko Basin, my federal constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion every move my honorable colleague. I say second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. Sixth order of the day is motion on need to provide for medical and humanitarian assistance to victims of motor accidents at Kwana, Dumawa in Minjibiri, Ngongo Federal Constituency, Kano State. Standing in the name of Honorable Sani Maruf, Honorable Nas is invited to move the motion. Sani Maruf, please move your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Sani Maruf. I am speaking of the good people of Minjibir and Ungogo Federal Constituency. I am from Kano State. Need to provide medical and humanitarian assistance to victims of motor accidents at Konar Dumawa in Minjibir Ungogo Federal Constituency, Kano State. The House notes that on 3rd March 2021, a motor accident involving a trailer truck, 18-seater bus, and golf occurred at Konar Dumawa in Minjibir local government area, where the trailer truck lost control and rammed into 2 vehicles, a bus and a golf, killing more than 12 passengers and 24 sustaining various degrees of injuries and fractures. Also note that the accident also affected traders carrying out their businesses on the roadside, leaving 11 deaths and many injured, increasing the death toll to 23. Concerned that over 40 victims, mostly rural dwellers, are currently hospitalized in Dambata and Munjibir General Hospitals, while those with serious medical complications and admitted at Murtala Specialist and Amin Kano Teaching Hospitals. Cognizant that over 90% of the accident victims are from Konar Dumawa, Kunya, Munjibir Gobrawa, and Jirgabawa, all in Munjibir Ungogo Federal Constituency. Resolved to add the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, and National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to provide medical assistance to hospitalized victims or facilitate their recovery, and 2, provide any other form of humanitarian assistance to the families of deceased victims to ameliorate their grief. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder, please? Honorable Abejide.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Leke Abejide is my name. I represent the good people of Yagba Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion as moved by Honorable Sani Maruf Nas. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, I think this is a disaster motion, so we'll just put the question. Those in support, please say yeah. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Seventh order of the day is a motion on need to design youth data bank in Nigeria. Signed in the name of Honorable Uju Kingsley. Honorable Kingsley is invited to move the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Uju Kingsley, Chima, member representing Ohajebema, Oguta, Oru, West Federal Constituency of Imo State. Mr. Speaker, my bill is the need to design youth data bank in Nigeria. The House knows that the population distribution chart of Nigeria indicates that youth made up of graduates, undergraduates, artisans, and other unemployed or unengaged are not accurately captured in a data bank. Also knows that the inadequacy of knowledge of the exact engagement status of the youth has hampered policy formulation and implementation in Nigeria. Acknowledges the giant funds of the federal government through the various social investment skills like the Empower targeted at youth empowerment. Convinced that the robust and detailed data bank generated through the various federal constituencies and senatorial districts will effectively cope all systematic challenges, including corrupt practices associated with the old system of engagement without a documented statistics of the youth. Cognizant that such data bank will specifically indicate the employment, skills, ability and disability status, and other considerations in the engagement requirements of youth for effective policy formulation, implementation, and other deliverables in Nigeria in confronting unemployment and absence of employment. Resolves to urge the federal ministries of youth and sports development, labor and employment to build effective synergy to generate a data bank for youth to enhance their chances of obtaining employment and empowerment. 2, mandate the Committee on Youth Development to ensure implementation. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there a seconder? Honorable the Chairman Reformatory. Chairman Reformatory. Honorable Anayo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues. My name is Honorable Anayo Edwin. I represent the good people of Ezan North Isheli Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ebonyi State. I rise to second the motion as moved by my colleague and friend, Honorable Uju. I so second. Thank you.
Honorable Kingsley, let me just go ahead and put the questions. It's a straightforward matter. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Eighth order of the day is a motion on the need to reinvigorate the National Orientation Agency for impactful discharge of its mandate, standing in the name of Honorable Shina Pella. Honorable Pella is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Shina Pella. I represent the people of Iseyin, Itesiwaju. Kajola Iwajawa Federal Constituency. I am from Oyo State. I am also the voice of the common man. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to move a motion on the need to reinvigorate the National Orientation Agency, NOA, for impactful discharge of its mandate. The House notes that the National Orientation Agency was established in 1993, and by virtue of its enabling act, the agency is established to reorientate Nigerians and encourage them to take part actively and freely in discussions and decisions affecting their collective welfare. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, also note that the functions of the National Orientation Agency as stipulated in Section 3 of the National Orientation Agency Act includes enlightening the general public of federal government on federal government policies and programs, mobilize favorable opinions of federal government policies and programs, collect and collate feedback to public on federal government programs and policies, energize the conscience of all categories of Nigerians on their rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations as citizens of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Also to reorientate Nigerians on their general attitude to waste and affluent lifestyles. To also propagate the need to eschew all vices in public life, such as corruption, dishonesty, ethnic and parochial and religious bigotry. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I read that Section 4 of the National Orientation Agency Act also stipulates the novel objectives of the agency as social reengineering, organization with omnibus mandates, and its core functions include reorientation and attitudinal transformation, public enlightenment and mass mobilization, etc. Also aware, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, that since 1999, Nigeria has been bedeviled with several problems, ranging from communal clashes, religious and ethnic bigotry, terrorism, religious extremism, large-scale corruption, and in recent past became victims of xenophobic attacks in South Africa. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, further aware that these vices have affected Nigeria's image outside the country, which to a large extent led to ill treatment of Nigeria abroad, and the last xenophobic attack in South Africa would have been avoided if National Orientation Agency had orientated Nigerians properly. Concerned, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, that National Orientation Agency has failed to rise up to its responsibility of disseminating information and reorientating Nigerians during this COVID-19 pandemic. Cognizant that by virtue of the NOA Act, the agency is required to have presence at the federal, state, and local government levels for optimal performance, and this has a lot of financial implications. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, further aware that the strategic plan for the National Orientation Agency 2017 to 2021 reveals that the statutory allocation to the agency in the past years is inadequate for optimal performance, as it is presently bedeviled with poor statutory allocation, poorly motivated staff, inadequate vehicles, and other public enlightenment equipment. Hence, the need to increase the budgetary allocation of the agency in the 2022 budget estimate in order for the agency to achieve its 1. Value orientation, 2. Public education and mass mobilization programs, and 3. Political and civil educational programs. The House resolves to 1. To urge the National Orientation Agency to wake up to its responsibility and be more efficient in value orientation and public education of Nigerians, and further synergize with the federal government on combating social vices as terrorism, xenophobic attack, anti-corruption war, etc. 2. To invite the Director General of the National Orientation Agency to appear before the Committee on Information,
national orientation, ethics and value, and table its activities, strength and weaknesses for the agency for the legislative intervention. 3, to mandate the Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Value to ensure increase in budgetary allocation of the National Orientation Agency in 2022 appropriation budget estimate for optimal performance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Simon.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Karu Simon Elisha. I represent Kaltungo Shongom Federal Constituency, and I rise to second the motion ably moved by my colleague, Honorable Shino Pella. I so second, sorry.
Honorable Shino, your motion is very straightforward. Do you want to add anything? Do you want to debate anything?
So
No?
You said it's straightforward, so I'm fine.
Okay. Somebody has an amendment. Who? Honorable Sada.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Sada Soli. I'm representing Jibia Kaita Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Katsina State. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the prayer 2, I request the House to delete prayer 2, Mr. Speaker, because of the consequences of prayer 2.
What does prayer 2 say?
Invite, Mr. Speaker, the motion, the prayer is asking the House to ask the committee that has oversight function on this agency to invite the head of that agency. I don't think the House needs to ask the committee to ask the
Can you
committee.
finish what he's saying, please? Yeah. Go ahead.
Invite the Director General of the National Orientation Agency to appear before the Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Value, and table the activities, strength, and weakness. I thought that is the role of the committee, to check this thing.
They already have the automatic power.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
In doing their work to invite the DG.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. And invariably, it will affect prayer 3 as well, because it's the role of the committee to provide funding.
Perhaps maybe the mover of the motion is aware of those powers, but maybe he wants to give it more force. That is the whole house. That is. But I don't know. We'll get. Are you seconding?
I so move, Mr. Speaker.
All right. You want a second? Honorable Abiante.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and my distinguished colleagues. Awaji Nombek Dagomie Abiante. Mr. Speaker, before I second the amendment as proposed by my senior brother Sada Soli, I want to put it on record, Mr. Speaker, that we are here for very serious national business. And our conduct, our inputs, our efforts should be seen to reflect same. Mr. Speaker, yes, the intent of my brother Chinopela, wonderful. But are these the kind of things that we should spend quality legislative time to be talking about? It's an indictment on the committee responsible for the oversight of the National Orientation Agency, Mr. Speaker. Motions like this need not take our very precious legislative time. All that he has asked for, the committee so responsible has the powers to do everything. Everything, Mr. Speaker. Are we coming back to ask the House to give the committee chairman the power to invite the agency that we have collectively given that responsibility to the committee to oversight? The answer is no. Are we coming back here to say, look, the agency that I am oversighting as a committee is not working, I also will come and ask for special permission to enable me tell them that they are not working. The answer is no, Mr. Speaker. It is not necessary even to take the motion, but my brother has done a very wonderful work to have proposed an amendment. I want to second the amendment as proposed so that we can save the day. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Please, 1 minute. Amendment is to delete prayer 2. Okay. And seconded by Abiante. Okay. Those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Motion carried. I think the remaining items on the order paper for consideration of reports, and then we'll step that down until tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, so go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Benua Kasama Guri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, I move that items number 9, 10, and 11 be stepped down by the leave of the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable John Deere, your time is off.
All right. 1 minute before we adjourn. Honorable colleagues, I have an announcement from the family of Honorable Prestige. Notification of burial and confirmation of date for valediction. Please kindly refer to our earlier letter to Your Excellency dated 6 February 2021, intimating Your Excellency and member of the House of the death of Honorable Prestige OC, member representing the people of Aba North South Federal Constituency. This, however, is to inform Your Excellency and members of the House that the remains of Honorable Prestige shall be respectfully committed to Mother Earth on Saturday, 24th of April, 2021. Consequently, we also suggest, subject to the convenience of the House, Thursday, the 15th of April, 2021, as a date for the valedictory session or any other day that is convenient to the House. Please kindly accept the highest regards of the family of Honorable Prestige OC and ours. So, burial ceremony for Honorable Prestige is Saturday, 24th April, 2021. And valedictory, tentatively for now, is Thursday, 15th April, tentatively. Honorable colleagues, before we adjourn, please be present tomorrow. We will be having an executive session tomorrow before we start plenary on 2 items. The ES National Primary Health will be briefing members tomorrow at a closed session, and also we have another second issue on security, which we will want to discuss at closed session tomorrow. So let's be here promptly tomorrow. Leader, please adjourn the House. Leader of the House.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable members, Ado Dogwa is my name once again. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I represent the good people of Tudunwada, Dogwa Federal Constituency. And I rise by the instructions of the Speaker, Right Honorable Femi Bajabia Mila, to move that this House do adjourn till Wednesday, the 15th or 16th? Wednesday, 17th day of March 2021 by 11 o'clock. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Honorable Gideon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Gideon Gwani. I come from Kaduna State and I represent Kaura Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that this House do adjourn until tomorrow, Wednesday, 17th, 2021 by 11 a.m. I so second.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it.